Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're watching the GSL Talk Show. Tonight, we'll be chatting with Miss Tilisia Roberts, and she's going to share with us the shown up good stuff. So stay tuned.
Miracle Sims, let's go.
Welcome back to the GSL Talk Show. I am here with the lovely Miss Tilisia Roberts. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Listen, we go way back. She knew me way back when.
Yeah, we go back at least At least a good 11 or 12 years.
Is it that long?
Yeah, because I've been here. I came here in 2009, and that was and I think that was one of the first things I did was that.
Okay.
It was a couple of things before that, but it at least has to be about a good 10 years though. Yeah.
Wow. Man, so time is flying, huh? Man, it don't feel like that long, but yeah. Well, she's referring to, I mention it every now and then on the GSL platform. I lovingly call it the debacle. She's another lovely lady that I met during the debacle. Yeah. We ain't got to talk about that.
Yeah, that's what it was too. Yeah, we good. We passed that. We moving forward.
Yes, indeed. You have been doing a lot of great things. I said we have to have you on the show and let more people know about everything that you have going on. So by all means, tell us where you're from and then a little bit about what you have going on.
I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Florida, so born and raised. So there. And then 2009, I've always wanted to come to Atlanta, so I made the move. I remember February 3rd, I got in my truck and drove up here. And I believe that was it was a Sunday. There was a Super Bowl Sunday on top of that. And and I drove up here, and then it began for me. I was taking classes in St. Petersburg, but I knew I wanted to make a change. And so when that opportunity came and those doors, opened for me, I decided that, I got to make a move. So that's how that started. Currently, right now, I still currently work at the Trap Music Museum as Trap Granny. So I've been holding that position for 5 years. And then I do things on the side. I do my show called Showing Up Good Stuff. And I also do a thing called Shout Outs by Grandma. So they're both comical. I don't really like to do anything too seriously, but like Shout Outs by Grandma, she does birthday shout outs, anything goofy and funny, nothing like harsh or anything like that. Cause my aim is to make people laugh. We got a lot going on in the world as it is. So my stuff is mainly to make people laugh and make them think as well. So those are the two things that I am actually currently still working on.
Okay, Miss Lady. Now, if y'all haven't gathered, this lady is a lovely actress as well. So what she's talking about are different characters and things that she portrays and different places where she's using her gift of acting. So you said that your move from St. Petersburg to here, do you feel like God kind of led you here to Atlanta, or like how did you?
Most definitely. Yeah, He has to lead you. Yeah, He has to lead you. And it was time, like I love home and everything, but there was just something missing. And I've always wanted to act. The thing for me, I wasn't probably as confident with it, but as I grew more with God and things like that, I became more confident in acting. So I love it. I mean, I actually really love it. So, but He was the one that led me. He most definitely. I mean, He has to be the one to lead you, because if something else leads you, you're going to be going into destruction. So I didn't need any of that, But I knew within myself it was time, and He opened the doors wide open for me to come up here. And so I just thank God. I've had some hills and valleys, but I just been getting closer and closer with Him and just keep pushing and pushing.
Amen. Well, hey, you must be doing something right, because again, you just mentioned that you have opportunities that you've been doing for over 5 years or more now when it comes to being track grandma. I would love to tell the people how you got into that.
Yeah. That's so funny, because at the time I like I think about a year or so, or maybe I had just lost my grandmother. So I almost gave up on this because it was just really hard for me to try to get past that. So and everything like that, even though she's in a better place and everything. But it was interesting. I was working and I was taking someone somewhere and I we just started talking and she said that she does producing and things like that. So and I showed her that I was doing showing off good stuff and the character is Sister Bertha May. That's her government name, Sister Bertha May Jenkins. And so
Yeah.
when I had no idea that trap was opening, you know, I don't know much about trap music to be really honest with you. But what ended up happening was one day when they opened it, they had been open maybe for a week or two. She called me and they were saying that they needed a grandma in that room. So if you ever been in there, I don't want to spoil it for people that have not, but when you come in the corner store, then you come into the living room splash the bando. And so they said we need a live grandma there. We need because they wanted walking art. They wanted this particular museum, they wanted actors to walk around. And she called me. And at first I thought I was auditioning for it. And she said, she told me, she said, I got just the person. And I came in and that has been mine ever since. And I've met like so many
Wow.
great people, and I've had some cameos and like Ti's video. All of his sons that's had videos. I've had cameos in their videos. I've been in
Mm.
Summerella's video. So I've met a couple. I've met some people. So it's been a wonderful experience thus far.
Look, the guy just made room for you. You say you didn't even have to
Yeah,
audition. It was something that the door just provided and gave.
yeah.
Hey,
That was what was so
those
amazing.
opportunities. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't want to take away what you about to say
Oh
about
no,
that.
no, no! That's what was so amazing about it. I didn't know that I had it. She's like, "Yeah, you got it." So I just came in, and it was just. And they don't give you a script. She just basically talks trash to them. You know, don't start, none won't
Okay.
be nothing. You know, say that kind of
Mhm.
thing. She'll hurt you, that kind of thing. She gives them the rules and regulations, and you know, basically, I walk around the museum and kind of interact with them, and just make sure that they're having a good time, and make sure they're
Mm.
laughing and things like that. So that's mainly her primary job to harass the people, and I enjoy it quite well.
Awesome. Well, and of course, you mentioned that this character you kind of received it from showing your other character something that you created or that you were producing your own show. So tell us all about showing up good stuff and Sister Verdi's and all that.
Now, the fun fact about Sister Bertha Bay, my mama kind of named
Mhm.
her. She named it. She
Okay.
called my sister Bertha Jean, and she called me
Mhm.
Bertha May. And so
Okay.
Jenkins, I spell it Jenkis, just rolled off the tongue. And so I said,
Mm.
okay, Sister Bertha May Jenkins, and that's how I got started with that. And I usually kind of just take topics. I let God kind of speak to me, but I just take topics like um, relationships, the do's and the don'ts of dating, just to make it fun, but to also inform people of the do's and the don'ts. You know, you don't give out your information when you just met somebody, and that's a man or woman. So
Mm.
I really don't write anything down. Most of it is trial and error. I'll get on there, I'll think about my topic, and I just really kind of spew out what I want to say. Usually I'll tape her one, two, three, four times, and whichever one I think is the best one, I'll choose that. So and then sometimes I have a couple of guests every now and then on the show. So I'm picking her back up actually. Kind of had put that down a little bit, but I'm picking her back up as well. But that's what I pretty much directed, set it up, and then I even also take topics. Some people will give me topics to say, like, Grandma, I want you to talk about this, and I'll talk about that. And that's how that goes. So
Also, and so what inspired you to just go ahead and produce this particular character and show?
I don't know. I think that I saw other people doing things, and then I just one day when I actually auditioned for a grandma, and so that kind of inspired me to do that. So I was like, okay, let me think of some lady I could do really funny, just test it out. I have to be honest though. Consistency is the key to the breakthrough. So you gotta keep going with it. And sometimes I put it down. So it's like I've been trying to get back on and just stay focused and and create That way I have footage to put out and things like that. So,
Mhm.
so that's kind of a battle. That's kind of a thing I'm working on, to be really honest with you with that. But it just kind of came to me. I know it was God, and a lot of people love the feedback. And she's just wild. She's wild. She's crazy, and anybody can listen to her. That's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to also be able to go into churches, which I have done that. I've hosted churches. I've done comedy in churches, and I don't have to do churches, but I like the clean comedy because you could go anywhere with that. So I've hit the
Mhm.
stage before as well as her, along with being in videos and hosting events. So I do that as well. But it was just a gift that God had given me. I'm kind of ready to take her to the next level. So I know I got to push, you got to keep pushing. But I really want to take her
Mhm.
to another level. But she's just fun to play. I enjoy it. And people love the feedback. They feel the love from her. And then they learn something from her as well.
I totally understand. I know, as an actor as well, I know that like it's a lot of fun to play older characters, like because you can just get away with saying anything, and people just, I think people just love those motherly figures,
Right.
So I totally understand how much fun you can be. That it seems like you're having playing the character, and I'm excited for you, all the different things that you're doing with it and whatnot.
Yep.
Congratulations on all the things that you got going on. It seems like more is around the corner,
Oh, yes,
because
ma'am.
you say you're about to be more consistent with it and whatnot. So it seems like, so if you could have your dream of what you would love to see for this character and for you producing and whatnot, like what would that be?
What would the dream be for her? I think, just having I wouldn't mind doing like sketch comedy with other people, with
Mm,
her being a part of that, just to be shown all around the world, or even a podcast, something that people are really tuning into and laughing and getting something out of. So I wouldn't mind working with other people, but I would really like to see
mm,
it go all the way around the world, and with other comics that want to keep it in that box of clean. That's something that's important to me,
mm,
because other people are doing their thing, and that's fine. But for me, I
mm,
it's very important to keep it right there, because even with her playing her
mm,
alter ego Trap Granny, I still keep her at a level of not going too far. Because once you kind of go too far,
mm,
it's kind of hard to come back, and everything like that. So I
mm,
keep her even though she talks a lot of trash. I don't take her too far. So I really
mm,
wanted to kind of, I want to do it all, even as my own self, even as acting as different people as well. Broadway,
mm.
plays, you name it, I want to try commercials, all of that. Anything that you can fit in that's positive, get the world laughing again, because like I said, it's a lot of things going on in the world, and laughter most definitely is a medicine.
Mm. I agree. I agree. Who knows, man? Maybe GSL could get some collaborations. We need more shows and content on on the channel. Let me see. I don't know.
Okay,
Unless
now,
you're
yeah,
scared. Are
we
you
could,
scared of our
yeah.
name?
Yeah, we talked about we talked about that once at one point in time. So kind of you gotta, because when you enter into something like that, you got to be ready to, you know what I mean? You got to do that work. You can't be, you got to
Yes.
start, and that's I think I tell anybody that whatever they're trying to do, that you change your thought process and you'll change your whole life. You got to change your whole thought
Mm-hmm.
process. You got to start with what's in your hands, and you can't wait on
Mm-hmm.
anybody. And that was some of my
Yes.
downfalls. Those are some of the things that held me back. It was like my thought
Mm-hmm.
process and waiting on people. No, you got to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go forward.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
He'll
Well,
take you the rest of the
you
way.
get into. If I say you get into some of that stuff now, because I feel like this whole thing with starting this particular channel and starting everything that I've been doing here, I can totally see the difference between like me and the way I'm handling things now versus me before. Because like you said, it's easy to get kind of discouraged when you're like, oh, I'm not getting the views, I'm not getting the da da da, whatever. But for whatever reason, since 2020, starting GSL and everything like that, I feel like God has just pushed me into a place where it's like, you just need to be consistent, like what you just said. You just need to be consistent and do these things regardless of the views, regardless of anything. And I've been trying my best to do that, and I've seen the fruit in a variety of ways. It may not all be billions of subscribers or billions of views or anything like that, but I see when it comes to, for example, there's over 1,000 videos on the channel right now. Like, to me, that's a huge accomplishment, because I will
Yeah,
always start and stop, start and stop. And so
yeah,
that's one thing that was just fruit to me. You know what I mean? The people that I met from around the world by doing this, like, there's no way. I actually had a conversation with a lady yesterday that she's terminally ill and whatnot, But we've had 2 conversations now and stuff, and I just know that there's no way I would have met her if I didn't go ahead and start the thing, So,
Right.
I hope you stay encouraged and everything. Seems like you have a lot to do, and so if consistency is that thing, then here I am to remind you, go ahead and do it, sister. Because even if you have to hold yourself accountable, to do that thing, like I set alarms and everything to remind myself to get up in the morning, to do the juice and all that stuff. Like we got to do it. We got to take our stuff just as seriously as we would take another opportunity as actors. And that's the way I started to see it, because I was like, you know what, my shows are still shows. Like at the end of the day, my morning show is like just like any other radio morning show, and I got to treat it. If I would get up early to go do some morning show, I got to get up early and do my morning show, and I got to treat it the same. And I've been seeing, it's crazy because like I started off just doing the juice ultimately for me, but next thing I know, a year later, I published the journal. And then a year after that, I'm doing the small group at my church that's centered around the journal. So it's just like, you never know what God's going to do with the visions and whatnot. So if you feel like that's what it is for you, that consistency and whatnot, then I'm here to cheer you on and push you. And if being on GSL, creating a sketch comedy show or whatever the case is, like I'm totally for it, because I'm all for creating more faith-based content and just content in general that like you said, feel good. It's not all about the extras of life. Like there's room and stuff for that. People are doing that, but I think when it comes to faith-based content, there's more areas that need to be covered and whatnot. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's another reason I wanted to have you on as well, because it seems like you were mentioning that your character is, would you say that she's along the faith-based lane as well when it comes to the things?
Oh, Sister Bertha, yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, she is. She most definitely, she's not stepping, even with Trap Granny, she's, she Trap Granny doing her thing, but Sister Bertha May most definitely, she's most definitely faith-based. And a lot of things and a lot of times in those showing of good stuff, she will talk about faith and God and scripture and stuff like that. But most definitely, it's a place for it. The world likes to turn away from it because they don't want to hear the truth, but it's a place for it, and a lot of people are tired of hearing all that other stuff. Not whatever they do, that's fine for them. But at the end of the day, when I close my eyes, or at the end of the day, when I'm talking to God, at the beginning of the day, I need to be. That was one thing I said to myself. I need to be. I need to be. I don't want to compromise who I am, because I've had people ask me to do certain things before, and I've done certain videos I didn't realize, like they're rapping and doing a lot of cussing, and I didn't know, but I've had people ask grandma to do certain things in a video, and I was like, not gonna do that. So I'm not, just not gonna compromise like who I am in that. There's nothing wrong with having fun, but there's a line I just don't want to cross. There's a line I don't want to cross, because some stuff that you put out there, it's out there forever, and it can haunt you too. So rather than open up that door, I'll leave that door shut.
I understand. I totally understand. So speaking of, you noticed, you mentioned that you played several grandmothers, but you are not a grandmother at all. Am I correct in that, or are you? I don't think you are.
No. Not a grandma. I don't have kids. I have some god kids, but they big. I got some nieces and nephews and stuff. But I actually have no children, and I'm not a grandma.
So how does it feel? Like, do you feel like not just say do you feel like you're being typecast? Because I mean, on one hand, it's like you created some of these roles yourself, so it's like you are enjoying playing these characters and stuff like that,
right?
But on the flip side, like how do you feel as someone that has not necessarily, I guess, lived the journey of the characters that you are constantly portraying?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. No, I'm saying, like, how do you feel as someone that's like you're constantly kind of playing a grandmother role? I'm sure it comes naturally because we've all observed either our grandmothers or our, we use things to pull from as actors. But what I'm saying is, like, is it funny to be constantly playing a grandma, but you're like, I'm not even a mom, like I'm not even. Like, is that
me? I enjoy it. I don't allow myself to be typecast. I don't even think about that, because I know I can play other roles, and I have, and things like that. So, but I don't know. I don't get that deep in it. I just enjoy it. I do think about some of the things that my grandmother would do, or older people that I know would do, and kind of throw that in there, or stuff that some of the words that I say, I use their words that they say. Oh, my knee hurt. It must about to rain. That kind of stuff, But I don't feel
Yeah.
typecast at all. I'm like enjoying the journey, and things like that. A lot of actors are afraid of being typecast. And I understand that, if you're known for one
Yeah.
character throughout your life. I don't want to be known for one character, of course, but I don't really think about it. I just enjoy it, and it just
Yeah.
flows naturally for me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I've seen you performing and whatnot, so obviously, yes, it does flow naturally and everything like that. I was going to say though, I also see this lady, like, don't get it twisted. Just because she played a grandma, this lady can get real sassy. And when I seen some photos of you going to banquets and whatnot, looking real fabulous. Now I don't know, is
I
this
had that night,
Tilisia out here dating and stuff? What's going on?
girl. That was our first year. I never went to prom or any of this, right? So when the Trap had a Trap Gala for the first year, I was excited, and so I was like, "This is my prom, then," and everything like that. So and God was so good. I'm gonna tell you, with that whole situation, the dress, I was kind of apprehensive about the dress because it's off my shoulders, and things like that. So the dress was given to me for free. The shoes, somebody had given those shoes to me. Those shoes sat on I had those shoes over 20 years, but you can see my feet. Well, when the old pictures, I did lay out everything that I had. And then I actually just bought the necklace. That was a necklace set. And I, bought the hair and stuff like that. And I purchased a purse. But I mean, God was like, I was trying to look for this dress, that dress. And he was like, come back. And I looked at that dress, and my sister, she was like, you look good. You look good. Don't worry about it. You look good. And it was just like one of my kids from the museum came over and did my makeup. I didn't even know who I didn't. At first I looked at myself. I was like, who is that? My own mom didn't know who I was. My own mom didn't know who I was. And so because I'm rarely out of, people know what I look like, but I'm rarely out of costume at the Trap, because I go already dressed as Granny. So some of the people did not know how I look. So folks were asking, like, where's grandma? Where's grandma? Because that's what they call me. And they don't call me by my first name. And so they were like, where's grandma? Where's grandma? And a couple people were pointing like, grandma. And one of the kids was like, grandma, you sure clean up real good, girl. But it was it was God. It was beautiful. I felt beautiful. I mean, that was my first like glam, really get dressed up like that, like that. And with the makeup and stuff like that, it was my baby did a beautiful job. And so I still look at those pictures today like, whoa, So yeah, I just I felt great, but it was a blessing. It was a blessing, and I enjoyed myself.
It was fabulous to see. I mean, I saw those photos when I was like, look at her. Yes, go girl. We got to remind them. I ain't grandma for real.
That's right, baby. Yeah. It was fun. It makes a woman feel good. For me, I was just like, but what got me, like I said earlier, my mom didn't even know who I was. She said, I didn't even know that was you. I was like, now look at here, lady.
That's
but
great.
Yeah, I got so many compliments from those pictures. It was like, ooh, it was wonderful.
Oh, well, listen, well, maybe you need to have more opportunities to get dolled up, and if you want, if that's what you want to do,
that red carpet.
You have to have more opportunities to do that, because like I said, you look like you had a great time. I don't know if you felt like Cinderella at the ball or somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I did.
Awesome. So what is next for you, Miss Tilisia? Like, I know you already kind of gave us a little bit of a sneak peek in regards to, what you would love to do. But what's kind of like on the current horizon in regards to you and things that you have going on?
Right now, I'm taking a class for like content creator. So I'm taking a class on that, like building content and things like that. Just more movies, just more opportunities to grow as Sister Bertha May, but as myself as well. So doing different roles like that. And we might be doing something together, real soon. Okay. So I mean, just making these dreams come true for real. That's really this is what I really love to do. More hosting, more comedy. and just making more people laugh, because that's what the world really needs at, in this time. So just kind of growing and getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and getting out there, and just and making a dream come true. I don't want to look back and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I just want to keep going
Mhm.
strong and harder than I've ever done before. And as you and keep trusting God, and those right doors are open for you. That's the
Yes,
key.
indeed. Yes, that it
Yeah, that's the
is. It
key.
really
Putting God first. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And people don't realize that. That's what I had, like, putting God first. You got to be all religious with it. Putting God first, and just keep, believing in him, and not be anxious for different opportunities. That's one thing about me. It's like, because I'm gonna tell you this real quick. I had an opportunity. I'm not gonna say who it was, but they wanted me to play grandma. And at first I should have, my mind told me to ask them for the script, but I did not do that. So I went out there to read the script, and I looked at that script, and I was like, cannot do this. And she's like, you can't. I said, listen, I said, I'm not. I said, I'm reading this script. I said, that's convicting me. I said, and this
Mm-hmm.
is, even though you would be Sister Bertha May, she would do that. And she would be saying that. So, and everything. And I felt
Mm-hmm.
good about myself. You know what I mean? Even though I drove, I could have actually she let me see the script, and I would have told her without driving all the way out there. But, you got to stand on whatever you believe, you got to stand on what you believe. That's one of the most important things. And like I said, I've been offered roles before, and it's like, no, I can't do that. That's just, no, that's not something I'm going to be able to do. And things like that, and gotta honor that. And when you get to know God, you know that God runs out of nothing. So what I'm doing is trying to enjoy the process. Like, I'm trying to build my numbers as well. So like you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not looking, and that's what the content creator class was saying. Don't look at the numbers. Be consistent in what you're doing. Be consistent and put things out, and those things will come. But you gotta be consistent. You gotta and you gotta use what's already in your hands. You gotta be going out buying a whole bunch of different equipment and stuff like that. Whatever you have in your hands, you use that, and you speak. And that was another thing. But the guy that's doing the class, he was saying, he said, I'm a Christian, so it's about also speaking, because there is life and death in the power of the tongue. So it's about what you speak in your faith as well. So those are the things I look at, as I go, and make sure I take God with me everywhere I go. I want him to lead and guide me into those things. But I know big things are coming. I mean, I've been at it for a while, so I just need to it's just that push. You got to keep pushing, and I think this is the year of the push.
Mm. Well, hey, listen, I'm all for it and about it. I can't wait to see what else is going to be coming from you, Miss Tilisia. But can you please share where can they find you and your content and everything like that?
Okay, so I'm on pretty much all of the social media networks. So under my on Facebook, I am under Sister Bertha May Jenkins. So that's SISTA, and then Bertha May Jenkins, JENKIZS. On Instagram, I am Sister _ and then Bertha MJ. TikTok is Trap Granny 1 on TikTok. And then on my Facebook page, it is just my name, Tilisia Roberts, on Facebook.
All right.
So you
Well,
can
there
find me
you go.
there.
I mean, there you go, people. You guys know where to
On
find
YouTube
her
too.
now.
I'm sorry. Oh, one more. Yeah, and I'm sorry to cut you off. One more thing, YouTube. YouTube is also Sister Bertha May Jenkins as well on YouTube. So you can find her there.
All right. And so that's where Showing Up Good Stuff is as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you guys go. I want to say thank you so much for visiting us tonight. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. Is there anything else you want to share with us before you go?
Just encouraging people to continue. I said no, but now I'm talking. Yes, just continue to believe in yourself. Continue to surround yourself with the right people, and speak the right words, because your words, whether good or bad, they're going to manifest. And so you got to just keep pushing. Can't always look at you can't look at how it's going, because sometimes it might not look like it's moving at all. But you have that consistency to the key is the key to the breakthrough. Those are the facts. Those are facts. And you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing and keep believing in yourself, and you'll make it.
There you go. Thank you so much for visiting us. Thank you so much for watching the GSL Talk Show, and thank you to Miss Tilisia Roberts for joining us tonight. I hope that you all enjoyed the conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check out Miss Tilisia and everything she has going on. Good night.